Hello and welcome to Tech Simplified TV and a very warm welcome to the Semiconductor Podcast. We are back with another power packed episode with Mr. Surajit Datta from Vadodara, Gujarat. He is the owner of Augmatic Technologies and previously starting his own venture. He has worked with many big corporations and gain a lot of experience and then finally decided to start his own venture in the most dynamic state of our country, Gujarat. So welcome, Mr. Datta. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. Welcome to TSP.
Thank you, Munmon. It's my pleasure actually. Good that you're doing these kind of podcasts. It helps a lot of new people who are trying to start their own business and trying to do things. The information or the knowledge sharing really helps, and it is the need of the hour, I think. So it's
Uh,
very good initiative that you have taken, and appreciate you for that.
Actually, from the way government is pushing all these manufacturing side and design side, the whole ecosystem, so it seems this will get a boost from government side and people are also interested. So it's time that we know what we have in our country and where we need to work. So it's kind of a connecting platform. We have created uh, TSP as a connecting platform.
Absolutely.
Everyone who is,
Collaboration is the need of the
yes,
hour. Without
exactly,
collaboration, if
yes.
individuals think that they will do great things, it doesn't
Mm,
work that way.
mm. And moreover, when we are thinking that India should become a powerhouse of electronics manufacturing, designing on every aspect, so there should be a platform which could be where people across world can see that what is happening in India and these companies I mean, uh, exposure, global exposure should be there. um, Mostly Bollywood, cricket, and other than chicken tikka, let's have something more which we can share with the world that yes, we are ready and we are at par global standard in our work in electronics, manufacturing, designing, every aspect. So we have started late, but it's
Yeah,
really
we
not
kind of
I,
catching up, so it will take some time, but yeah, we are on the right track.
and we will catch up. So let's start with your journey. It's a long journey. When you started, I was looking. I was in my primary section. I was. I mean, that
Don't
time,
say that.
engineer.
Otherwise, it sounds that then I am quite old.
Oh, that no, no. You are fit, and it means that you have a huge energy. But look at our prime minister. Age-wise,
Yeah,
he might be considered as a senior citizen. The way he works every day, we will get
exactly.
ashamed that we cannot I mean compete with him,
Agree.
the kind of
Agree.
routine he every day has. So its age is just a number. He has
Yeah, yeah.
defined, he has changed all the definitions in our country. So uh, share your journey.
So I have been, I'm an electronics engineer, passed out in '94 from Pune University, and after that worked with some, big company names. Being one of them is Sita Telecommunications, which was one of the, first job that I did. Now, Sita Telecommunications is basically a worldwide airline telecommunication network they have. This company was formed by a group of airline itself to enhance their own communication infrastructure in terms of ticketing, baggage tracking, and all those kind of things. So Sita was in India since 1979, I think, but they expanded to different cities as our airline industry expanded. So I was selected for one of the nodes that was going to be set up in Vadodara. So I set up the entire, electronics and equipment and everything. The entire office. They just sent me. Their contractor came, and everything was like a one-man show. So that experience was huge. I had to decide where to put the electrical panels, where to put the equipments. They had the guideline though, so based on that, and then the entire travel agency and their connectivity was actually connected to Ahmedabad. So the entire thing was overnight. On one day we shifted everything to the Baroda node. That was a huge exercise with minimum outage. So working with the local telecom company, with that. So 6 years stint was that. Then I joined Vipro Technologies, Bangalore. So I worked there as in some of the UK projects. One of them was Thames Water UK. We were managing their complete water management remotely from Vipro Bangalore. So I was in that team. So I worked there for around 1.5, 2 years, and then I got a call from one of my seniors who was there in Sita Telecommunications that Reliance Communication is, setting up this enterprise business, and I want you to be in Gujarat. So it was not an offer; it was just an order kind of thing, that you come and you just join there. I want you to join. So I met him and I then took up the offer and I came back to Gujarat again. So again, setting up the entire enterprise business in terms of program management and uh, selecting the team of different cities: Surat, Baroda, Ahmedabad, and delivery team, and service assurance team and everything. So that again took 4 5 years to settle down, and we reached some stage. And after that, I got an opportunity to work with Aircel as national enterprise delivery head. So I took up that and I moved to Gurgaon. There I worked for around again 1.5 years, and there I met one of my seniors from my college who was having a startup. And that idea of startup or doing something of my own was always there, at the back of my mind, that something needs to be done. So I left Aircel and I joined that company. So there also we did some good work. We made a product which could monitor and manage physical infrastructure as well as the IT infrastructure with the same hardware, which was not very common at that point in time. I'm talking about 2009-10. Okay, so based on that device that we made, we got a project for remote infrastructure management of the Gurgaon metro, the smaller metro which had come up that time. It was of 6 stations. So that entire integration of everything, like starting from your ticketing gates to your master clock to your fire alarm system to your electrical panel. I mean, there were some 17 18 subsystems. It was actually given to Schneider, but somehow Schneider uh, could not do it or did not want to do it, put their hands to it. And we from somewhere got into it and we executed it successfully. Then after doing that, I got an opportunity to work with a startup company again, which was based out of UK. So I took that up and I moved to UAE for 3 years as a pre-sales and solution architect kind of thing profile. So I was there. We did some good projects there, and then I kind of came back uh, from permanently being there to going there occasionally, because we had set up a small team there, so I was not required to be there all the time. The India business as well as the UAE business simultaneously we were doing, and COVID hit that time, and everything came down. And that time it made me think. Actually, my parents were getting older. They were alone in Vadodara, and I was managing UAE and Delhi. My family was in Delhi that time. So then I took a call that, and I was always feeling this gap in the market uh, with the IoT and automation coming up. They were very European products which were quite pricey and not allowing customers to implement the IoT projects or automation projects only Some of the high notch companies who could afford that could do it, and other people were not implementing it because the cost was high. And there was second category of Chinese products which had very low reliability, so people were selecting those to do it, and there were failures and the project success was not happening either way, you know. So so i i found that as a gap. So one fine day I just decided that I am from electronics background, I have done so many things, let me just, go back to electronics again, let me, start this. So I just gave up everything, just came down after the first wave, when the things were again opened up a bit. I came down to Baroda. So we selected a land, and the project, we kickstarted the project, and that is how it started. And in 2020 we started operations. So between lot of challenges as everyone faces was there, but successfully we started operations in 2020.
2020. Actually, in 2019, we came back to Kolkata, and late 20, early 2020, from that time we started working on Tech Simplified TV. So, you are the third, this is the third company I'm talking about. I mean, third or second, I guess. Another company, they also started during that time, because the owner, he shifted from somewhere else to India. So that
A lot of,
many
lot of
companies
people,
started that time.
yeah, yeah, a lot of people, criticize saying that at this age, I mean, 45, 47, you're thinking of starting a company. Why now? And this and that. So
Tell
I
them
just,
40 is
I,
now new 30.
yeah. So I just ignored all of that. I said, I had the conviction that it is going to work and it will work because there is a gap and this is the need of the hour. So that was more powerful than anything else. So
That
let's
that age, that at this age, that age actually a variable number. Since you are in
yeah,
the western part in the of the country, you heard that at 45, 46. And since I was coming back to Kolkata, which has become for last 30, 40 years more backward. So I heard that at 35, with a toddler, you have left job. It's a variable thing. So where
yeah.
at which place you are depends on people and their uh, mentality, I guess. Otherwise, just we have an example of KFC. The owner started after 50.
Yeah.
So so what is the core vision behind Augmatic Technologies, and what were the initial challenges you have faced?
See, the vision is to create an ecosystem and to provide components and modules, to enable companies to implement automation products, be it in the IoT space or in the industrial automation space. Designed in India, made in India product, a robust, good product at a good price. And
Yes.
so there is a huge gap in this space, as I told you already. So either we have those pricey products, or we have these, Chinese products which do not have any
No.
warranty. If it works, it works. If it fails, you have to just throw it and get another one. So that
Hmm.
that was the, thing. And so that is why another point which was there to start this was when we were doing our product designing in other startups. So we had to design from somewhere, we had to give for manufacturing somewhere, then again we have to code it, and somewhere if the problem comes, everybody would, raise their hand that it's not our problem. Manufacturing guy will say, I did perfect job. Design guy will say, I did a perfect job. Why it doesn't work, nobody knows. So I wanted to create a one-stop solution where the design is done in-house, the manufacturing is done in-house, the coding is done in-house. So for the customer, it's a one, party to deal with. And for me
Hmm.
also, it is, I work with more integrity that, I have to make it work. If it is a
Hmm.
new design from the customer side, so then only if the customer grows, I grow.
Hmm.
So
Exactly.
these were the two reasons and idea behind, thought behind starting this company.
Okay. And core challenges you faced? This.
Challenges, there are ample number of challenges if I have to talk about. In terms of customers, if I have to say, even in manufacturing today, people are very less sensitive about quality. Everybody is just talking about price. Almost every customer I have to educate that was price is a important thing, no doubt, but that should come after you talk about the quality.
Hmm.
So I lose some customers because of that. I gain some customers, and the one I gain, they continue with me because I do not,
They will stick to you.
yeah, I do not lower my standard of doing manufacturing just because he wants a lower price. So I have put a threshold. The same kind of solder paste or solder material that I use for my products, I use for them also. So I
Hmm.
don't compromise there just because they are asking a lower price. So that is one mindset I think which needs to change in terms of electronics because, for example, a manufacturing of a PCB is costing 100 rupees. That module he is actually going to sell it in more than 1,000 rupees. So it's a 10 times costing difference. There is a difference of 5 times or 10 times of the manufacturing cost. So why you want to optimize the cost there?
Hmm.
I always tell them that you won't even know if I do a substandard thing by using a lower quality solder paste,
Hmm.
or cheaper kind of thing that will trouble you till your life in the support thing. You will spend 5 times of that cost in the support and getting a bad name from the your customer.
Custom.
But that realization only some of the people get it. Otherwise, everybody is after lower price, as if electronics is totally free. So that mindset is there, which needs to change. I hope that is the challenge in Indian market. That is the bigger challenge. And second thing is
Hmm.
payment terms. So everybody, if you go to work with a bigger customer, the bigger the customer, the worst is the payment terms. So because they're a big company, they say that we are big, you have to follow whatever we are saying, kind of thing. So I
My
then
God.
generally that kind of situation, if it comes, I try to put a partner in between who can support me. In So we don't do direct tenders. That is because of payment terms again. For a smaller company or a startup kind of company, cash flow is very important,
Very
and
important.
so you cannot get into those kind of things where payment terms is 120 days and 180 days kind of situation. It's very tough for smaller companies.
Okay.
So
That's
these are
that's
the
really.
primary challenges. Yeah.
So these challenges, and is it the normal norm of the market that big companies always
Yes,
follow
yes.
this thing?
People have only created it. See, in telecom also it started when everybody was fighting. It went to half paisa per minute or things like that. Then they realized that by doing that price war, everybody is going to drown because they are going
Hmm.
into negative. So then they created another conglomeration, and then they decided that okay, we will not allow the price to go down beyond this, be it any operator. So now
Hmm.
they're doing well. So similarly, we don't have a benchmark in the electronics manufacturing industry.
So do you think if government intervene and set something like that, it will be
Government,
easier
I
for
don't know how much government can do in this, but definitely within the electronic
community?
community, there has to be some kind of standardization in terms of pricing, and what kind of this thing is there. Otherwise, there is no sanctity. If you ask 10 people for the same job, you will get 10 prices,
Ah,
and customer gets confused. If somebody is not from electronics background, he will not
they
understand
will.
the nitty-gritties of it.
Yeah. Any kind of benchmarking or like any certification helps in this case, like ISO certified or this kind of. Most of the products must be get certified.
Not certification is one thing. Second thing is in EMS. one of the most critical thing is your solder paste that is being used. Now,
Hmm.
different formation of the solder paste, they come with different melting point temperature. They come with
Hmm.
different combination of tin and lead without lead. You know, these kind of combinations. So customers should actually emphasize on a particular combination or type of solder paste or a brand of solder paste with a combination. So once that is established, then the standardization will automatically come, because
Okay.
you get same solder paste at 4,500 rupees kilo also, you get it for 1,800 rupees kilo also. Now just imagine,
What a difference
it's a
in
huge.
the range.
So whenever a customer will, push somebody, give me lower cost, I can go and buy that 1,800 rupees. That will get brittle in in heat in summers
Hmm.
when the connections will come out.
Hmm.
So he will suffer with the support and all those things later on. Similarly for the PCBs, the quality of PCB, the amount of copper which is there, though they define 0.35 micron and zero point 0.7 micron and things like that. In China, if you buy those copper sheets, all kinds of prices are there. So while it may appear to you that you are getting a lower price of PCB, you don't know how much copper is there in that. The pads may come off after some time.
Hmm.
These kind of standardization is not there. So because everybody is running after price, so the vendor is also kind of pushed to comply to that. So that is where the challenge is. I mean, if you have to build quality products, you have to have that kind of standardization.
Yes. Actually, in retail market also, when you go to buy ware, that copper, the twisted ware, copper within it, that also varies, and not
Yeah,
many
there's
people
a huge.
understand that copper
Yeah,
is the main component, not the plastic cover. So
exactly.
that thing also exists in the retail market. So actually, it's sometimes, I think, now while you are doing the sale and marketing of your product, it's becoming part and parcel of your job to educate and enlighten people with the right information. Right information is not there, that's why mostly people are not taking well informed decision based on the products, and they don't
Exactly.
have idea about the product, that which is going to behave in long term, how they will behave. So these are the gaps. Do you think that with time more and more manufacturing companies come up in India, with time customers get used to with these terms and how to buy and what to buy, so then your journey will be a little bit easier? Do you think so?
I think it is an organic process. I mean, the way that I still don't have a sales team.
Okay.
Okay, my focus
Because
from day one was to make a good product. I was sure that if the product is good, anybody who uses it will definitely come back to me. And that is what has happened. I mean, I don't have
mm,
many buyers, but the buyers who have taken once and twice and they have seen and felt the difference, they
repeating
definitely
customers.
they come back to me always. They don't go elsewhere. But this everybody does not have the patience to follow this. Everybody
Hmm.
wants to get a project and just dump the material, give it to them, and somehow wash your hands off. So both kind of vendors would be there. So you cannot create a unified thing. So it is the way how you choose to do your business.
Okay. So what types of electronic products do you manufacture, and which industries do you serve?
So the kind of electronics, if you talk about any automation solution as such in broadly, so there will be three components. One will be your sensors of different types based on the use case, whatever it is. So if you are, for example, doing a cold room, you will need a temperature humidity sensor. If you
Hmm.
are, monitoring pollution, you will need CO2, CO, PM 2.5 kind of sensors to monitor pollution. Now these sensors automatically does not provide information to the cloud, or to a processed place where the customer can actually use it. So then comes the data acquisition modules. So data acquisition modules is nothing but different kinds of inputs. It could be a digital input, it could be a analog input, or for control it could be a relay based digital output, or it could be a analog output to control any analog output device. So we have made sensors, we are still making it different kinds based on use cases. We have a large number of IO modules which have different communication protocols like Modbus RS485, Modbus TCP Ethernet, and if customer wants wireless, we also have Wi-Fi and LoRaWAN options. Okay, and then comes all these. For example, you're doing a building or you're doing a large number of cold storage or things like that. These all data needs to be first aggregated to a place and then sent to a local server or to a cloud. So for that, you need what we call gateways, IoT gateways. So all
Hmm.
these sensors, the data acquisition modules communicate to a gateway. Now the gateway has options to relay the data locally to a server or to a cloud through 4G communication. So presently we have some sensors, we have a large number of data acquisition modules, and we have different kinds of IoT gateways. So I am trying to create a complete ecosystem where many of the use cases can be catered. A customer can get the products from a single place. He doesn't need to source it from different locations. So that's the idea.
Okay. Okay.
So if you can just
So
give me one minute, I can show you some of
sure,
the
sure, sure,
use
sure.
case. So this is a temperature humidity sensor with the Modbus RS485. Okay, it has got a sensing element, and
Okay.
then we have these PM sensors, which is PM 2.5, PM1, and PM10. So this entire thing has been conceived, designed, manufactured in house.
Okay.
Then we have these data acquisition modules. This one has got four relays. It has got four analog inputs. It has got four digital inputs. It has got a Modbus interface with the black one, and then you have these dip switches to configure the slave IDs and the baud rates and things like that. And this comes in an enclosure, closed enclosure. They're all C certified and ROHS compliance based
Okay.
on the solder paste we use, and we give comprehensive 1 year warranty for all our products.
Okay.
Comprehensive warranty. Whatever happens, we're going to either replace or resolve it free of cost.
Okay. Great. So, by ensuring that design and product development, everything is done under your supervision in one
Yeah.
place, or under one brand name, you ensure that whatever design or whatever need of the client is, that is perfectly you can deliver.
Yes,
That's the thing.
and that's the strength,
Design
between.
and need.
So many times it happens that whatever we have made as a standard market practice, the use case needs some customizations.
Hmm.
Okay, the bigger companies cannot provide those customizations because they cannot
Hmm.
quickly adopt that, and that's the
Hmm.
power we have. And I
Hmm.
always
Hmm.
say to my team also, and that's the strength we have, that we can actually adopt and customize the product, the hardware based on the exact use case the customer wants.
Okay. So, I mean, I have gone through you said that your website is still in making. Although I tried to
No, I'm not. It
explore
is
it.
okay. I mean, it is in some shape, but I really wanted to improve a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, sure. There
Yeah,
is every time there is a scope of
hope for
improvement.
improvement.
You have a YouTube channel, many videos are there.
Yeah, so
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 for
that is another
viewers,
thing I'm very keen on, because everybody is selling their product. There are technical specifications in that, but the younger people who are just trying to create a solution or build a solution, it's difficult for them to just buy a product, and that confidence does not come whether it will work, not work, should I invest. the money in this or not. So for that, I have started, through one engineer who has his own channel. So he was kind enough to take our products and create a simple videos of how to use it, how to configure it, so that that gives a very clarity on the product itself,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps. So I'm going to, I have a plan to make those more number of videos, and also for smaller use cases or solutions where we can just show that these components can help you make this solution, this use case. So that
That
that can give a lot of confidence to people who are trying to implement those solutions in the market.
nowadays YouTube has become very part of our I mean market research or everything. Whenever we want to buy something, we search it either on Google or YouTube. So YouTube video could really help you. It will
Yeah,
help
it's
you.
really helpful. Yeah.
So so can you elaborate on your services, particularly in EMS, IoT, and industrial automation? Whatever you said, apart from this, anything
So
else?
there are three business verticals we have clearly. So one is EMS, where we do contract manufacturing, be it a turnkey project where we, order or manufacture the PCBs for them. We order the components for them. We manage the inventory and everything. We do the complete manufacturing. And because we have an R&D team, we also sometimes put the code in it, do the tests that they tell us to do. We do so complete ready product. We send it to them, so we do
And
that kind of.
what input you get from the customer, like design or specification, and based on
The
specification you do the
customer gives
design.
us the Gerber file, the file of the PCB. They give us the bill of material, and they give us the test code.
I mean, if anyone wants that,
Mm.
I want to do that work, so you do the both. Since you have a design facility, in-house design facility, you do the design and PCB everything,
So that is another
coding
vertical. One
okay.
is contract manufacturing. In contract manufacturing, customer already has a design. He already has a
Okay.
code. He wants to
Hmm.
make in quantities. So if he wants to
Hmm.
make 5,000 boards, he cannot make it manually,
Hmm.
right? So we have a fully automated assembly line using which we can do it. So there we do, sometimes customer gives the PCB, gives us the components. We just have to manufacture, do a quality check, and give it to them. We do that also, and we also do turnkey where customer says that you do everything. So we order the PCB, we order the components, we do the PCB assembly. After that, we do the QC. We also put the code in it. We do the testing, and then completely ready PCB we send it to the customer. So he can just pack it and send it to the market, sell it to the market.
Okay.
Another
One
vertical is, yeah, you're saying something.
Oh, yes. In suppose when the customer is sending you the PCB, and
Hmm.
you are doing all the assembling everything. So, if you in that case you find that quality of the PCB has which has come from the customer is not really good, do you give that feedback to the customer
Yes,
that from where
definitely,
you have bought this?
definitely. We give
Okay.
what customer has already, so we always try to improve on that. I mean, if there are PCB, we tell them that this is not correct, it will create problem later on, so be
Hmm.
aware of it. Maybe you can change the, yeah, those kind of things I always do.
Okay, so when a customer is coming to you, already most of the cases they have decided on the PCB which quality or from which vendor they should buy, or they take a kind of, because manufacturing thing is getting done in your facility. So do they take suggestion from you that which kind of PCB should
Sometimes,
be good?
sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. Sometimes this is what he has been doing. So because of whatever reason, he has, either left the previous vendor and come to me. And because in manufacturing also it looks very simple and easy, that machine is there, just put it and do it.
No, 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 no.
But there
Obviously
is a
not.
lot of technicalities in it. No, this is a thought process I'm saying. I also had when I started this. I thought the machine is automated. What is the problem? Put the components, program it, and just do it. But there is so many technicalities in that. I have been learning almost every day after that machines have come. It's a every subject. I mean, as we say, every subject, once you get into it, it's become so vast that you cannot finish learning. So it's a continuous process. So
And
definitely it
all
will
these
be
machines are built in India, or you have to purchase them
no,
from
no. Some
outside?
of the machines are India. I cancelled the China order and purchased from India. And the main machine, which is called the pick and place machine, which picks the components and places it, that is from Japan.
Okay.
So
Do
no
we?
China.
There is no vendor who make this kind of machines that pick
Not
and
yet. Not yet in India, because they're quite sophisticated, and the accuracy levels are too much. So
okay.
to achieve
So
that kind of
those.
accuracy, we really want to. It can be made. I'm not saying that it cannot be made, but nobody has yet, and it will need a good amount of investment to get into it.
Okay. Okay. So this kind of services you offer. So how do you maintain that quality assurance and rigorous testing? What are the testing processes available in your
So one
facility?
is in the manufacturing itself, we what you call do the optical inspection after the manufacturing has happened. Then after that, there will always be some components which has to be manually done. Like in the board that I showed you, the connectors and the relays and everything, they are through all components, right? So they have to be manually soldered,
Hmm. Hmm.
these connectors and all. So we ensure, if you see the quality of the soldering, so I really have some good guys on board who are doing perfect soldering. So we do a quality check by another guy who is from the manufacturing side, not from the soldering team, who does the teaching of the physical soldering. So once the physical soldering is done, it is given to the R&D team to put the code and do the test as it is supposed to function. So we do that, and we have a kind of a test bench where we have multiple input output devices pre-connected. So we have got a test code in that. So we put the card and we keep it for 24 hours, and we see the functioning of it, the heat generation in the card and things like that after 24 hours, how it is operating. If everything is okay, there is no errors in the communication or in the functioning of the thing, then it is cleared for packaging and putting in the enclosure and packaging it.
Okay. So for each board, you do this 24 hours testing
The batch size
for
is
each.
too big. If the batch size is too big, if it is 20 module, 30 module, we do it for every this thing. If it is a very big batch size, then we do it in terms of batches randomly,
Random selection. Okay,
random
got it.
selection.
My curiosity in QC is a little bit more because in design houses, I've mostly worked as a QC/QA
Mm.
engineer for these designs and IPs on design part. So QC/QA is a very
And the designs
integrated
also,
part.
these designs also, whatever is there, we are always thinking about how to improve it, how to better it, how to
Mm,
add some additional feature, you know,
mm,
into it. So that is a continuous process which happens. And I will tell you the recent development. Even just today, we are expecting that PCB. Now these are modules where the digital output is fixed, the analog input is fixed, and the digital input is fixed. We have made a board now which has got universal input and universal output. So
mm,
you can change the configuration to analog output or digital output selection, or you could change from digital input to analog input. So same ports you can configure as analog input or as a digital input. So
okay.
we are trying to do that so that the flexibility of configuration is there, because every time the customer comes with a new requirement, it is difficult to design and keep designing new boards.
Mm,
So we are trying to create this kind of flexibility, which helps the customer also and to us also to keep the inventory of the PCBs and the components and the bill of material. So the first thing we purchased in this company was the ERP. I said without that, maintaining component inventory is impossible.
Okay. So whatever process you do, is there any standardized industry certification available,
Yeah, so
which
we are
most of
doing
the
yeah, we're doing CE certification for almost all categories of hardwares, and ROHs based on request we do for for especially for the sensors and all we by default do ROHs, and for IO modules if the customer requires we do ROHs. In that we only the type of paste changes, so it becomes totally lead free. So that kind of options we select and do it. And apart from that, certification means for the sensors, we do NABL certification for the accuracy of the sensors modules. As such, they are digital sensors. Mostly they're pre-calibrated, so there is not much required. But we, for giving the confidence in the mind of the customer, so we do that NABL certification for the sensors and all.
okay. So there are some flagship products of your company like IoT gateways. Tell us about those products and their real life application.
As I told you, the IoT gateways would be for collecting all the information from the field
Mm-hmm.
and sending it to the cloud. So there are two, three different combinations we have created to make it more cost effective for the customer and to address the use cases without using multiple devices. Like since we are already making IO modules, right? What we have done is we have made a communication board on top, which sits on top of the IoT, which has got a 4G communication. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so by using that, you can have different combinations of IoT gateway with inbuilt digital input, digital output, analog output. So that helps if, for example, you're doing a pump room kind of solution where remote pump rooms are there. You want to monitor the level of the water. You want to operate the pumps, and you want to monitor the ambient temperature. You want to monitor the energy meter there to calculate the energy usage by the pumps, things like that. So a single module, if you put, that is good enough to collect all these informations, be it
Data.
analog level sensor, be it your operation of the pump through the relay, or the energy meter on the modbus. So all these can be done by a single gateway. So you
Mm-hmm.
don't need separate IO module and gateway and things like that. So based on the experiences I've gained, I'm trying to optimize and bring to the customer products which can help them create a one-stop, put one module and your, kind of problems are sorted. You can just implement it. And in the software code also, we have got different versions and different options based on, like if he is connecting to the Azure cloud, or he is having his own kind of cloud platform. So everything is on configurable MQTT platform. Everything is UI based. Customer can easily go and configure it himself. Uh, Again, the for the same, the videos will be made so that he just has to take the product, put it, and you're done. So that's the
Okay.
end game or the aim, that it should be a just pick the product, put it, and you're done. That kind of scenario.
Okay.
So that is how I
So,
feel the implementation will improve. Otherwise, if it is difficult to implement, if it is costly, then the ecosystem will not go fast.
hmm. uh, Gujarat, for electronics manufacturing, it's isn't it new to Gujarat? The kind of industry already present there.
No, no, no. If you see why Gujarat, because first thing, infrastructure. The location where Gujarat is, or you can say the cities like Surat, Ahmedabad, Vadodara is connected to the Delhi Mumbai highway.
Okay.
Okay, the new highway which is coming up, the international highway between Mumbai and Delhi, that
Hmm.
is going through Baroda. Okay, so the logistics point of view, it becomes very easy.
Hmm.
Second thing, Mumbai has the seaport. So my connectivity, if I am exporting or importing stuff, is not very challenging, right?
Hmm.
Then in terms of you know availability of this thing, what you call electricity, the
Hmm.
stability of electricity, the power seldom goes, and it is a stable power that we have. So there is no disruption of service as such. Okay.
Okay.
Then the road infrastructure is very good.
Hmm.
Connectivity is very good. So all these factors actually are required for these electronics setups. And in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, I'm in Baroda. Baroda still has five, six, EMS companies within Baroda. But apart from that, Gandhinagar has a good number of companies, especially for PCB manufacturing. I mean,
Okay.
from across India, a lot of people are getting their PCBs done from Gujarat.
Okay.
Okay. So as such, I mean, from software point of view, you can say that yes, we may not be at that level as Bangalore and Hyderabad, but otherwise, Gujarat is not placed out of the context.
Okay. So, any example where you have provided custom solutions to any customer and got very
We
good review?
we do it continuous basis. I'll tell you one recent example. A company who is making these air fryers, the air fryer we buy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a test process. They have a line of 120. They have three of them. So at the same time, they are doing test of so many air fryers. So there they are supposed to keep the temperature to the maximum and keep it on for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no feedback they were getting, or there was no mechanism they could measure the actual temperature that air fryer went to, and whether it could maintain and hold that temperature for 10 minutes to pass the quality check. So they were just doing it, putting it on, keeping it, and then again packing it. So they wanted a mechanism. So what we created a simple module with a thermocouple, which could read the data and it could send it to their server over Wi-Fi. So we just recently supplied 120 numbers of for one line these modules. So there is no ready product. If you go and see a thermocouple which could send information over Wi-Fi over MQTT, there is no product available. So we customized and made for them.
Okay. Mhm. So, so what is your client collaboration process from concept to production?
Okay, that's an interesting one. So there are two categories of customers here. There are some who come with a Chinese product in hand that I want to make it in India. Okay. So I educate them that we are not going to copy this product. If you think that we are just going to copy it and give it to you, that is not what we do. Yeah, with the same functionality, if you can define and if you can share us, information about it, we can make a similar product for you. So that is one kind of client which comes. Then there is another kind of client who has a requirement or in mind that he wants for his business a kind of a product which he can really sell it himself and also you sell it to the market and also use it. Like a recent example, I'll tell you this honeybee. We lot of companies are there who are collecting honey, doing bee culture, right? So they are collecting honey. They so now the trend is they based on the season of the plants and flowers, they put those honeybee setup close to that, and they get the honey of that color. For example, when it is the season of some flower or some this thing what you call mustard seed is there, so they go close to that mustard vegetation and put the setup there, so the honey that they get will have qualities or the good things that the mustard has in the honey itself. and the color also changes based on that. So there is one company in Gujarat doing this. Now, apart from that, they also wanted to have a mechanism to extract venom from the honeybee. Okay, the venom of honeybee sells at 84 lakh rupees a kilo, and it
What
is
is the use?
used in medicinal. The use is totally medicinal. Okay, and it has to be kept at -4 degrees. Okay, now how to collect the venom? So there is a process. We are creating that product where a wire mesh is put very close to that box where the honeybees are there in their input, and from where they come out and go in at that point, that place, and very mild simulation of current is given when they sit on it. So as soon as that simulation they get threatened, and they just kind of, there is a glass on it, and they kind of put their venom out. So then that glass is taken out after every 1 hour or half an hour based on
Oh
the
my
cycle
god.
we have, and that is scratched, collected in a bottle, and refrigerated. So that process. So we are making a module for the customer who came with this idea. So they want a Wi-Fi based solution where they could change the cycle. They can slightly change the current based on the type of honeybee. So that mechanism we are making. So it's a completely idea from where we are kind of improvising, working with him. I went to a farm there to he showed how it is being done and how it can be done. So based on that, we are doing it. So these are the areas which are totally new for us as an electronics thing.
And very
But
interesting also.
yes, like this, many customers come with unique ideas, and we support them, in doing their stuff.
First time hearing about this collection of
Yeah,
honeybee
it was a
venom.
first for me also. I also didn't know
Oh
before we
my
got
god.
into it.
What we need in this modern society, not even we know about all the things, right? Although we these things are existing here. So how do you stay updated with the new product trend and what is coming, and looking beyond? How you keep
So
do that
there,
thing?
there are two things to it. First of all, for the team, I encourage them to do latest trainings in terms of new controllers which are coming, how we can incorporate it in different kind of use cases in the products we have or we are planning to have. That kind of things. We have a subscription of EFI which comes, and that has got some good amount of information on the trends and how things are happening and where it is going. Plus, the internet is there. I mean, if somebody can spend time other than seeing reels, so there is a lot of information available there. So you can, keep yourself updated. So I basically encourage the team to do it. I keep myself updated based from different sources. In LinkedIn also these days, a lot of information
Hmm.
comes. So if you can follow that, I think you can keep yourself updated.
And that timely supply, how you manage this thing,
That's
because
a very
time
important,
is crucial thing.
very,
Very
very
crucial thing.
interesting point. So how we do it is we have created a mechanism. Like I said, the first thing we had was the ERP, right? So we have created uh, combined bill of materials. For example, IO modules. Most of the things will be common, whether the modules are of different combination. The AI section will be common, the DO will be common, the Modbus section, the power supply section will be common. So we have created a consolidated bill of material in the ERP for these kind of components that we have. And then, and apart from that, we also have for the accessories, like enclosure is required, some cable is required, some connector is required. So those are the accessories part. So we have created specific bill of materials for each type, and we run a weekly report from the ERP on that. And whichever is showing red in that report, which is showing low, we order it immediately. So that we always keep a buffer that we can supply about 20 modules immediately. And from the PCB point of view also, we try to create or we try to inventorize the PCBs ready with us for about 20 to 30 based on the requirements which are coming more frequent, which are less. So based on that, we create things and we manage that way.
So
And from the
inventory
design,
management, you do it yourself
no,
using URP.
I just give direction on how to create those reports and how to get the actual information out of it so that we know what to buy when. I cannot get into everything.
So what you do when suppose multiple two three customers come and their timeline is quite close to each other, so delivery
No,
dates,
first of all,
how you manage that extra
no, no,
pressure of
no. First of all, I mean, at the time itself, before giving a timeline, we do a background check. What is there, what is not there, how much time the logistics will take to come to us, and by when we can deliver it. And realistic timeline we give from the day one itself. We don't overcome it to the customer as far as possible. We don't do it. Okay, and if it happens, sometimes it happens. So what I mean, the only thing what we can do is we try to cover it up by working extra hours. That's the only thing we can do. Like in this 120, this thermocouple case itself. I mean, in spite of telling the vendor of the enclosure n number of times that you please ship by air, he shipped by road, and that too from Bangalore. So what in that scenario, what we had to do is we kept rest of the everything ready. Whatever job activities were pending, we tried to finish as much as possible, everything ready. So when the enclosure came, we just fitted it into the enclosure and tried to save time that way. So you have to, based on the situation, dynamically we have to shift to meet the timelines. So it's a continuous process. I think there is no set line that some baselines are there, but apart from that, situations do come.
okay. So what kind of after sale services you provide to your customers?
So openly, we always provide 1 year comprehensive warranty. Okay. So customer, if he has a field problem, they send the card to us. Up till 1 year, there is no charge apart from the one side courier that he has to pay for. Rest everything is taken care of.
Okay. And after that, that's
After that, if he
there is a
wants, no, no, if you because end of life is not there as of now, we're not doing it. So in the life cycle, if there is a problem he wants, we will always support. There is no
okay.
question about
But for 1 year, that comprehensive warranty is
comprehensive.
there.
Yeah.
So, do you collect customer feedback and work on that?
I have done. I mean, on our Google page, we asked them to review, but not very. Uh, you know, uh, as a process or as a, every time we have to take feedback. That kind of thing is not there because, as I told you, the marketing and sales part is still pending. I don't have a team. So that
Okay.
part I only have to do, and whenever I get time, I try to do it. Otherwise, it is not very done very process wise that we have to take feedback every time. But we try to do as much as possible.
For your designers and your employees, so
Mhm.
what kind of training and upscaling facility you
So
prefer or you
whenever
provide?
Udemy courses are there if they want to upskill. Okay.
Mhm.
Plus, sometimes some practical, trainings and I also encourage them from this financial year started that even if we are not participating in exhibition, I ask my team to go and visit because
Mm.
once they go and visit, a lot of self learning happens. They see things how we are doing it and how some people would have done it. So once they come, then we'll collect the information. We, kind of, if we have to do some upgradation in our designs or changes, we definitely, that way organically we want to. And
Okay.
as such, in our products itself, we are every quarter we are having a discussion meeting where we we try to do improvisations on our existing products and what else we can do to give better service to customers.
So, what is your next? I mean, scaling, upscaling, or not actually upscaling?
There are plans, so many plans are there, but again, it depends on kind of investment. We are looking for some good investor, strategic investor. If a strategic investor comes in board, there are things in the pipeline which we need to do. We definitely want to work more on the sensor side. A large number of sensors are there which we think can create a good amount of value. But again, to make those sensors and to productize it, there is a lot of time, effort, and money needed. So,
Hmm.
so that is why the investor comes in place. So that is there, and also in the manufacturing, I think of late the issue with US and China, the amount of duty that they have paid, uh, a lot of US vendors are looking for manufacturing services outside China.
Hmm.
So it's a good opportunity for India to cash into
Hmm.
that. Okay, so
Exactly.
I'm looking at that angle. So I think Saturday I have a meeting with one of the investors who has shown some interest and who also has got a connect in the US. So that is important. Okay, so if that kind of can be cashed into, I think a lot of business in the EMS side can be attracted,
For
and that
all these things, Gujarat is a very good place. I mean, the culture is there.
yeah,
Like
everybody wants to
investment.
work and go forward. That's it. I mean, there is no look leg pulling that why he is going high and which are there in many other parts. So that thing is not there definitely.
Good. So, and are you collaborating with any academic institute? Which kind of engineer get chance to work with you? I mean, they're diploma engineers or degree engineers.
See, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
His
No,
attitude
in
towards,
you.
his attitude
You're,
towards work should be good. He should be sincere in learning. Okay, he may not have all the skills that is needed, but more important is his attitude and dedication to learn. If that is the only criteria I see, that is the only quality I see in the candidate. If that is there, then he is a candidate to be hired.
okay. How big your team is right now?
Presently, we have 15, small team of 15 people, where six people are there in the R&D, rest in other functions. So
Okay.
we want to increase the R&D to 10 people. We are not able to manage the because almost every day I get one project requirement, and we cannot take many of them because of the manpower. Because we have to develop our product also, we have to do customer product also.
Yeah.
So all cannot be done. So it has to be balanced. So that is all. But I'm very positive that in 25 things are going to change, and we have opportunity to move to the next level.
You started in 2020 and now it's 2025. So almost completed 4 years, full four
Yeah.
years. So the kind of projection you had when you started, have you touched it or surpassed it? You're satisfied with your
So
progress?
when I started, see, I was not in Gujarat. I worked in Delhi. I worked in UAE. So as such, Gujarat was totally new for me. There were no references, nothing. So I started from scratch. So from where I started, we could self-sustain. We could, manage till last 4 years. Now the profitability thing has just started, kicked in, and I see a huge opportunity. So I'm very sure that it's time to cash in. Actually, the hard work that we have done last 3 4 years in developing the products, now is the time to cash in. So more focus on even sales and marketing this year, so that the actual products can be sold in the market. More products can be sold in the market.
So actually, you have just come out of the incubation period of
Yeah,
startup.
you can say that. You can say that.
And you obviously you have some competitors in your field. How you differentiate your service, Augmatic Technology, its service, how it's differentiated from others?
I personally, if you ask me, I don't compare with other competitors. I only look at my product, how I can make it better, how I can make it a better quality at a better price, and the rest the customer needs to decide. And it has been working that way positively for me, for the organization. And I think in future also it will work like that, because once somebody uses a product, ultimately whoever is buying a product, he wants that it should give him the, less and less pain. It should just get connected, give him the output, and his job, needs to be completed without much fuss, and it should keep working. That's the idea, right? So our entire focus is on that. So once that is fulfilled, I'm 100% sure customers are going to come back, and that is what has happened in the last 3 4 years. Whoever is taken, they have come back. So I'm not looking at what other people are doing too much into that. Now we definitely see, but I don't deep dive too much and spend waste time in that what they are doing. We focus on what we can do and what we are doing better. That's the core.
Okay. So you have a store in India Mart also. Is it
Yeah,
helping you?
yeah, it does help. It does help.
Okay. India Mart is a mixed product market. So, if a dedicated market for electronic products and services is there, do you think that will be more useful for electronics manufacturers like you?
Yes, definitely. See, if I compare with China, in China, what happens when you go to say Alibaba and all? I am also there in Alibaba, in fact, but
Okay.
not a single product I have sold. The purpose of going in Alibaba was not to sell product, but to get the RFQs that are raised there from different companies across the globe, because the reach of Alibaba is much bigger,
Hmm.
right? So in India Mart also, initially I also was not very in favor of India Mart, because a lot of false this thing comes,
Okay.
false calls or false this thing, because they're not able to control. I've discussed this with India Mart people a number of times. They are the input side where the customer puts the requirement input. They don't have a kind of a filter there, or a mechanism that they can differentiate between a real requirement and a false requirement. You will be surprised, many people call for job through India Mart. Yes. So all kinds of things happen. But being in India Mart for last 2 3 years, now looking at the requirement itself, you get an idea that if this is a real requirement or it is just somebody trying to.
Okay.
So
So there is one, your product catalog is also enlisted in India Mart, isn't
yeah,
it? There was. So that actually helping you in that way. If anyone is a true buyer, or someone is finding some service provider, they can look into what kind of products
yes,
you are
yes,
selling.
yes, yes, yes.
Are you involved in any kind of CSR or community engagement
We've
activities?
not reached a stage where we can do CSR.
Yeah,
The idea is there. Basically, the idea of training is there in mind, because in
that will
EMS
be helpful.
itself, yeah, in the EMS itself, I don't find many skilled people who can actually handle the machine. There are very few who have got previous experiences. Only they are going around, and more EMS expansion is happening. The machines are getting complicated. So the basic understanding of how the EMS works and to handle simple processes in the EMS itself, that is something which is there in my mind. Okay, but still not been able to initiate it or start it.
Since you are in Gujarat, very stably, a very stable state with respect to industrialization and business aspect. So you are a Bengali. As if I ask what we basically need, avoid all the political scenario, just what we need to do something. I mean, at least to be 1/10 of what Gujarat has achieved today. And if Eastern side want to achieve what we need, can you please? give us some suggestion on
I
that, because
mean,
you are doing it on ground. You are doing it. You are facing it every day.
your question is that what we can do in West Bengal? Uh,
West Bengal on eastern part, whole eastern part. Look at the eastern part of India, where we stand with respect to the western part. Just look.
I think one major difference, which I see is in that part of the country, people are negative about everything. First, the negative point comes out. Nobody talks about, just doing it. That let's do this, and then see, from there. First, you have to do it, right? People only talk it and shoot it down midway itself.
Hmm.
There is too much criticism, discussion, talks basically, rather than doing it. So that mindset needs to change somewhere. That was we need to do something first, and then see where it goes. So just the talking that we'll do this and we'll set up big things. First, small things need to be taken care of, like infrastructure, the electricity connection, you know, and those things are primary to this thing. I don't find here in Gujarat any disturbance in terms of which are there outside the business. Disturbance when I say people asking for money for different kind of things, that since you have set up business you give us money.
Ah,
Those kind of things are totally absent in the state. They don't just
again, the law and order situation comes into play,
nothing.
because
Everybody is doing their
support,
job
that
freely.
support is required.
Everybody is trying to improve upon their businesses they want to do. Nobody is interfering unnecessarily in your business. Even I will say these other EMS players in Baroda should be my competitors, right? They should be my competitors,
Hmm.
right? Even when they have some overload or something, they give the work to us. So we work like that. So if he's got a customer, his machines are totally occupied. So he doesn't say
Wow,
no to them. He takes the order and he calls me and tells me that if your machine is free, I'm sending this job, please do it. So
great.
that kind of collaboration is there.
What a good community, business community. What a good business
Yeah,
sense. So
exactly.
that's why I really like this kind of thing. Many times I recently I have interviewed Marmik. I told him that state cannot flourish so much without help from or mindset from its people. I'm really
Yeah,
respectful to this state and its people. They are so good. Creating employment. So many from this eastern part of India, people are going there and earning bread and butter and sending money to their household there in eastern part. So they are taking so much responsibility of the other part of the country also. Really impressive. So do you provide documentation and data sheet with your products,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Of course, of course. With every product we
Okay.
have a data sheets.
You are the first person, and this field is, I understand slightly, I understand, not very in deep into it, because I have never worked into this kind of electronics things, and I have seen lot of videos and all. There is a video which in your YouTube channel, that about your facility. It's all shooted on your real location in your
Yeah, yeah,
facility.
yeah.
It's
Yes, yes, yes.
very very sophisticated, very nice facility you have.
Thank
So
you.
it feels good to see. We don't have in this eastern part, at least in Kolkata. I don't know any such company. Maybe my knowledge is not complete, although it's not the culture here.
But there
So
will
hope
be few.
soon.
There will be some customers. Some.
I hope some company starts here and we get to see some changes in this eastern part also. um, what is your suggestion to those who are entering electronics engineering beyond VLSI, beyond design house? There are so many things to do, so many scopes are there, so many fields. So, what's your suggestion for them and for startup owners who are planning to do something of their own?
See, for startup owners, one thing very important is to have a focus of what you want to achieve, and what are the things you need to do for it. It is very easy for startup owners to get deviated, because 10 people say 10 things that you don't do this way, you do this, you do that. And getting success or getting money should not be the criteria of your startup. You should
Hmm.
always focus on what problem you have started with, what you're trying to solve. The entire energy and focus should be in that. Once if you're able to do that successfully, the money and everything will come. But many of the people I see get deviated that somehow they want to increase the valuation of their company and then sell it off. Okay, that does not happen. I mean, a lot of people are also. I also see a lot of people only focusing on making softwares, only focusing on softwares, because that doesn't need an infrastructure, right? So you
Hmm.
can sit anywhere and you can create softwares, But still, if many people are not also focusing on the hardware part,
Hmm.
well, I'll tell you, I mean, if you do an analysis, every 10th company in the IT space will have a cloud platform. There's so many cloud platforms. Everybody says, I have a cloud platform. But if people don't have who make the hardwares from where the data will go to the cloud, what good is the cloud for?
Exactly.
Right. But not many people are. I don't see many companies who are making sensors. I don't see many companies who are making these IO modules or IoT gateway. IoT gateway still there are some who are doing it, but there are not. You can count on your fingertips. But if we really want to become a what you call, we want to sell our product across the world. Many people have to start doing this, and there has to be ecosystem with which we are focusing and building this, that automation, to enable automation. How you can enable automation until unless you have a bigger ecosystem. And second thing is, still 90% of the time we are dependent on China for every component, for everything. That dependency has to go. If we really want to get our prices down, more competitive across the globe, the prices has to come down, or the ecosystem has to build their own components. I mean, we should have made in India components available. Only
Hmm.
then thing will change. Before that,
Hmm.
we cannot. I mean, I get many. I have got last 2 3 years, 3 4 such projects where customer wants that you make me a product in very large quantities, but you match the China price. How I will match the China price? I have to buy components from there. I have to get it. Logistic cost gets added, and then I make it. So how how I can match China price? So
Yes. Hmm.
those things are, those bottlenecks or barriers are there. Till that time, it will I think grow gradually, but the real explosion is going to happen once we have our made in India components.
Recently, government has launched one support program for component making also. Have you noticed?
I know, I know,
Few
I know,
days
I know.
back.
I know it is there, but that is all again. For that, the investment requirement is huge. If you
Hmm.
ask me, I want to set up a factory for LCD screens.
Hmm.
Display screen is one thing which is in India we don't have. Everything is getting imported, and if
Hmm.
in so many places you need displays, right?
Yes.
We don't have a single factory for LCD screen, but the amount of investment which is needed, nobody is going to fund me. So I cannot use that PLI. Some big player has to get into it and say that okay, we'll start this. Only then it is going to happen. So there is a gap between the PLI itself, which is there. It is only addressing the big players. No, it is not for the SMEs and micro SMEs that we are in. It is not for them. We
Okay.
cannot get into that.
Another question. I'm a bit curious that about solar use of solar panels, and is it very common in Gujarat usage
Yeah.
of solar panels?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
very common.
Very common. The government has launched a scheme basically where you also get to. I mean, the subsidy is there for setting up the solar. You pay less, And second thing is the extra energy the grid is taking. So they're paying you for the extra electrical energy that you're supplying to the grid.
We have a very good opportunity across the country because sunlight is we get huge sunlight, we suffer for this heat, we can utilize it in a
Yeah,
very positive way.
yes, yes.
I hope that in our state also we get something. I have heard that in suburbs of Bengal they're using, although in proper Kolkata there is nothing like this. I'm very interested about solar cell and solar panel for
Lot of
many years.
lot of development has also taken place in terms of the efficiency of the solar panel itself. Okay. So even I mean, I had this thought some years back when I was in Dubai. I was watching all glass cladded buildings, huge buildings. I used to think that if the glass panels itself can be made as a solar panel, then you don't need to put additional solar panels, over the building. So
Mhm.
that development has happened, I think. So they are now. It's just a flexible sheet kind of thing. You can stick on the glass panel, and that helps you generate electricity.
Some convenient thing, very good.
Yes, yes,
When the need of the hour, because energy, we need more energy to support all the kind of lifestyle and everything we are used to, and the conventional way is not going to support it for many years.
no,
So
no,
alternatives should be there, and with less carbon footprint. So obviously solar is the way, and we
yes,
are blessed with the kind of position the country we are in, the kind of
yes.
position it has. We get ample of
Lot of solar.
sunlight
Yeah,
every year, or
true.
every time we get ample of heat, so we can obviously utilize that.
Even
Okay, so
wind combination of wind and solar actually is the best way to go because solar is only till sunset. If you put a wind, it is 24/7.
uh, in our country the kind of wind we get, that is also enough for
Yes, I mean, I'm
electricity
saying
generation.
a hybrid model. So
Hybrid one.
combination of the two can really give good results.
Yeah, so I had many questions, and honestly this the field you are working in, it's quite new to me. It's new, very new, all the things, and industrial automation things and making manufacturing, all these things very new avenue for me. So I had some question. Do you have anything in your mind you want to share with the viewers?
In terms of what I mean, which
I
subject?
have not covered in in your subject only. I have not covered anything. You are feeling that okay, she should have asked this question. We could have discussed that one, that topic, or anything you want to share. I ask all my guests because I might have not
Acha.
covered something.
No, I think I have. We have spoken for quite different, wide subjects, a lot of things. So one thing I can say is that we are open for supporting startups and stuff, supporting any new idea, or if somebody has needs some support in terms of designing or manufacturing, prototypes and making minimum viable product. So we are open to supporting those kind of people as well. So we don't say no just because it's not a revenue this thing. So I'm basically trying to create a value in the ecosystem. Okay. So we welcome people. We have done some manufacturing projects for IIT Delhi, IIT Bhilai, and IIT Raipur and all. So we have done that on almost no profit basis. So because they are from professors and researchers and all, so we are open to that kind of request. So through your channel, if you can just share, if somebody needs any support, that kind of thing, will be happy to support them.
Sure, that's a good thing. I mean, collaboration is the only option.
Collaboration is the key. I told you that holds the key for the success of India. If we
Exactly,
can collaborate
exactly.
properly, So we go forward. If we think that everyone is king and everybody wants to be a billionaire, nothing happens.
That's why we cover everything. I mean, from IIT, we have recently discussed talk with the professor from IIT Madras, open source tool from IIT Bombay. So all the teams, we talk with everyone because everyone must share their story,
Yes,
because we don't know who needs whom. There
correct.
should be a connectivity, a platform should be there. This, all the things are happening on different parts of the country. If there is a platform where everyone get to know each other, probably some collaboration and some future work also might
Absolutely,
come up.
absolutely.
That could be a possible thing. Anyway, thank you very much for, we have one
Likewise.
and a half hours, so long we are discussing so
Yeah,
many new things. And this, especially the most interesting thing was that the bee venom collection, that's amazing thing, and the complete concept is very new, very unique. Thank you for spending so much time with us.
no, my pleasure.
There,
Pleasure is mine.
for viewers, the YouTube channel of Augmatic Technologies and their store, the India Mart store. All the links will be provided in the description of the video and in the first pinned comment of the video. So those who are interested to contact Mr. Datta and his company, you can do that. And he is available in LinkedIn. You can connect with him. Uh, Come forward to collab, make this thing more, I mean, in a fulfilled way. Let's go to a towards a brighter
Let's help
future
each
for
other
this
to
country.
grow. That's it. Let's help each
Let's
other
go.
to grow and move
Yeah,
forward. That's it.
exactly. Move forward and help each other. Thank you very much, Mr. Datta, and viewers. Thank you very much for staying up to this point. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow the Semiconductor Podcast. Thank you for staying up to this point, and bye for today.
Thank you. Bye.